What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Glitch Podcast. My name is Topher Welsh, and my partner in VR crime is
Eugene Capon, better known as Capon Design.
And we are here with a Facebook friend that I became friends with a couple of years ago, I think now, and I find his life incredibly interesting, and he does so many cool VR things, and I was like, dude, you should come on and talk about all the VRs. And it's Gregg Katano.
Hey,
how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Not bad, man.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Super cool.
Yeah, right on. So you have a couple of different things that you do. You run a co-working space.
Right.
You are you work with Hologate. You're their VP of Strategy and Development, right?
Close enough. Strategy and growth.
There you go. Yeah, and I think you're on like some boards too, and you hit all the VR events in LA. So I'd be surprised if a lot of people haven't heard your name, honestly.
Thanks. Yeah, it's I'm just super grateful. I just feel that a lot of things are popping right now, and it's all stuff that I really, really love. The co-working space is called Phase 2 over here in Culver City in Los Angeles, and it's kind of my dream job. It's something that what people don't realize I've wanted to do for about 20 years. I've been in LA all my life, been in entertainment all my life, and I had hoped that there could be a space where I can curate all this frontier technology. So we have artificial intelligence, we have blockchain, AR, VR, even cannabis. Even though it's not a tech, it's progressive, and it's happening here in California. So I thought, you know what, let's not shy away from anything, and hopefully we can curate with a bunch of creatives, and it just creates a good energy, as I'm sure you guys know. When you get a bunch of creatives together in a room, magic ensues. So
for sure.
Oh yeah, it's called a hackathon.
Yeah, right. But with a little more sleep, and
right.
People shower and bathe.
So do you guys so when you say it's curated, do you have to like apply to be into this specific co-working space, or is it more like not like an incubator, I guess, but is it's a tight-knit group of people?
It is. Yeah, at the time, or at the moment, there isn't any application process, but a lot of it's based on word of mouth or my relationship with the community here in LA, or like you're saying, through Facebook. A lot of people know me, so a lot of people reach out and say, wow, didn't realize you were doing that. Love to come by and check out the space. And the owners, Peter and Dan, who founded Phase 2, found the space after looking at literally 100 different places around LA. And this used to be Maker Studios back in the day, Disney Maker Studios. So
really?
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Well, was that before or after Disney bought them?
It was after. So I'm sorry, it was before. So Disney had bought them. They had moved. They're actually just about a mile away from here. But when Peter and Dan found the space, they gutted the whole place out, except for the green screen stage. So we still have that in case people want to do just mini photography shoots, or little green screen, or
a little mixed reality.
Not quite yet. Not that sophisticated yet, but
that'd be the first thing that I did, man.
I know. I'm working on it, so that'll be coming up. But yeah, it's a I think the word of mouth got out there, and we just got some of the top companies in each respective area, which is really fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks for asking. And you're asking about Hologate. Yeah, or mentioning Hologate. Hologate, as you've probably heard, it's right now the most successful virtual reality platform for location-based entertainment. And it's a German company. It was a company out of Munich. Two co-founders, Leif and Robert Funkiel, where he goes by Funky, and they literally built this in a basement. They built it together, used all their personal cash, money that they had made, and Leif had made previously with this company called Ignite, doing visual effects for commercials and television and film, and just pouring it all in with the belief that VR was hitting, and there needed to be a system to get the content out there, to get games out there, maybe enterprise applications.
Mm-hmm.
And just pure synchronicity, I was searching for something like this. I said, you know what? What's really going to help virtual reality is if there is a system that's made for multiple people. I mean, as we know, 99.99% of virtual reality is in a single headset, and that's been a big challenge for all of us. How do you get around the isolation? And I think what happens is it's not just isolating for the people in the headset, but it's also isolating for the people waiting to play. They're feeling a little left out. They see that something is cool happening over there with my friend who's in the headset kind of doing all these crazy moves. And I think that's why people are kind of F with you when you're in the headset. They poke you, they try to scare you. And then what that does is even the people inside the headset seem to be a little more reserved because they know that their friends are watching. They know that at any given moment, their friends are going to kind of mess with them. So I really looked at that aspect of it and realized that we have to figure that out. We have to make it multiplayer. Mm-hmm. And gosh, wouldn't it be amazing if not only is it multiplayer, but we can see each other. We can see each other's avatars, perhaps, or we can talk to each other. And I was thinking it's got to be a small footprint because, and stop me anytime if I just
I'm
ramble on too long. But prior to that, I was working with my business partner Chris Crisatelli, who founded the VR Festival and VR Arcade. It's a pop-up that we have out in Vegas, but we've not just Vegas. I mean, we do CES and NAB out of Vegas, but we've been at Sundance, we've been at South by Southwest. DEF CON, the Hackers Convention. Yeah. So anywhere where we felt that VR could be a good fit. So now you have all these technical geeks, hacker geeks, at these different events. You got the foot traffic, and we thought, what if we could take advantage of that? What if we can take advantage of the foot traffic, bring our friends in that are making some, kick-ass VR content, allow them to not only demonstrate their virtual reality, but also work on their pitch, practice their pitch. Mm-hmm. So it was purely to help the community. And what had happened is Chris and I started looking at it, and, it's Vegas, right? They can replace virtual reality with a bank of slot machines and they'll make a ton of money, right? So we knew that we had to be very aware and very conscious of their space as landlords. So as we're, the guys from MGM, the guys from Caesars, and VR Fest, VR Arcade, we're all thinking about, well, how do we achieve a common goal of not only on our side allowing the public to get their virtual reality out to the public, but also what will be in it for the casinos? What's going to be in it for Vegas? Well, they want foot traffic. They want people to.
And this is where I first actually heard about you. Mm-hmm. And I saw a video that I believe you put out, and it was for the MGM Grand, and it was it was the demo of the scavenger hunt thing that you had set up for them, and it was all in their app. Yeah. And you had you just looked through the phone and you collected coins or something as you walked through the different places, but they were geolocated.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And I saw that and I was like, holy cow. And I remember my brain started racing. I was like, how can I use this for tourism in my town and things like that? Seattle would be really cool. I think I showed Eugene and this things like that, using AR and VR to get people to explore.
Right. And to that point,
rather than escape,
Right. Yeah. And that's great because when you take that word explore, I mean, that's what the casinos want you to do. That's what the family entertainment centers want you to do. They want you to be moving around and checking out the new restaurants, checking out the new arcade games. I mean, so we were thinking about just different ways to keep people engaged so that they'll stay in the spaces longer and thus spend more money in the casino and eating the food and buying more drinks at the bar. So
I'm surprised you guys just didn't make a VR arcade of a casino.
Right.
So people could simulate losing their money virtually.
That would be terrific. I love that.
And then the casinos will come back and be like, no, we want them to lose their money without paying like just one observant fee, right?
Well, I see a scenario in the near future
Online
where
gambling, I think, Eugene, right?
where like we're gonna have like Bitcoin casinos, and then you just have like little VR pop-ups where you can go in. There's like little VR rooms where you can go and explore virtual casinos and then gamble away your Bitcoin and your Ethereum and all that, but they're all housed in the casinos, so that the casinos figure out a way to cash in on the Bitcoin and the blockchain industry.
I love it. Love where you're going. You're converging all the technologies together.
So when the coin goes up, that's when they start losing, but when the coin goes down, that's when they start winning. That's how they're going to maximize it.
Right. It fluctuates as you play.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know, don't bet against the casino, right?
Right.
Yeah, house always wins.
Exactly. Especially the ones where it changes by the minute. The value.
Yeah.
But that was a very successful test. It was actually with Google. It was with the company was IL411, a company that Nathan Pettyjohn, the founder of the VR ARA, the VR AR Association, which is that worldwide association. Mm-hmm. So he was actually working with this AR company, and Chris had met him at an event, and we were all just brainstorming about, hey, how do we all test out this new technology that Google's looking at? This IL411, they already had a prototype, a working prototype, and then on Chris's side, Chris and my side, it was the idea of how do we help companies like MGM and Caesars to, again, possibly have a platform that will help further the engagement.
So has that project been sold other places, or has it just stayed as a concept for now, or has it proven to be a viable product?
I don't know where they took it. It was essentially a product of IL411, so I'm wondering if they pursued it. I'm assuming they had, because it was a pretty nifty device. It was a pretty fun thing. But Chris and I didn't pursue it. We just thought that, hey, this is another service that we can provide to MGM on that event.
So were you guys, what company were you with then? Were you hired on by IL411 or something, or was it like your PR company or agency, or it was? Yeah,
I was with VR, the VR Arcade, VR Festival that Chris.
That's right.
So I was brought on as a partner with that, but I believe I was still with Google Cardboard. I was with Unofficial Cardboard back then. Remember the the cardboard boxes where you stick your phone in?
That was another thing that I saw that I thought was really, really interesting, because you guys had all these branded cardboards that you guys were just giving out, right?
Right.
As a grant.
That was interesting. It's so funny because I jumped into VR about a little over 4 years ago, right? Around the time that Google Cardboard was coming out. And I was in my office just brainstorming, thinking, okay, this VR is amazing. How do I get involved? And after just grinding it out, just brain dumping night after night in my office, it hit me. It was distribution. And at the time, the only viable distribution that I saw was Google Cardboard. So I put that on my, on the top of the wall, and I've been in entertainment all my life, creating content, creating visual effects and post-production and doing 3D and all that. And I knew that I didn't want to do production. That was the second thing I wrote up on the wall. And my friends were shocked. My friends who are basically my confidants in both tech and media, they came over after they got my text saying that I'm all in with this VR. I found something that just changed my life, and they quickly ran to my side saying, "Gregg, you don't talk like that. We don't know you to ever make rash decisions like that. So what is this?" And I put the Google Cardboard on their face, and they were amazed. And they go, "Wait a minute, so you can be a cardboard manufacturer?" I said, "You're missing it. It's agnostic, and this will give me access to all these content developers, and hopefully I can help guide a lot of people because of my background as a post-production, stereoscopic 3D, because, I struggled at times. I had to close down my visual effects company, 3D company, and I just hope that I can help people avoid some of the mistakes that I've gone through and speed up the process for everyone. So that was a big impetus behind getting with Google Cardboard.
Well, so are you still developing other projects outside of that then?
Outside of Google.
So like you were doing you had a visual effects company.
Right.
You decided to go to stereoscopic 360 video,
right.
essentially.
Right.
And then now you're doing, other things in VR. Are you also working on developing other projects that are heavily visual, I guess, that have like a lot of visual effects?
You know what? I leave that to our team in Germany to do all that. So I'm representing the United States for Hologate, and I help with social media, I help with strategy, with marketing, things like that, and they are the ones that are taking care of all the VFX or the everything's done in Unreal Engine right now. So they just got this small but crack team of game developers, VFX guys. The founder was a VFX supervisor for many, many years, 20 plus years. So he and I can really sync as far as, the look of something. It's why we like Unreal. We just felt that the fidelity was just a little bit nicer than Unity. I mean, both platforms are amazing, but we strictly make everything in Unreal Engine right now because it just felt closer to what we were used to in visual effects.
Right on. Do you personally have any little side things that you're working on? Any like cool little concepts that you've been throwing together, like that you haven't talked to many people about, or is all your time consumed by Hologate nowadays?
You know what? It's actually both. It's phase 2 and Hologate. So it works out. Actually, the third would be just to do talks, podcasts like yours. I just spoke at the Entertainment Finance Forum a couple weeks ago talking about, actually I used my 3D experience as the case study of how it led me to to virtual reality, and how it really gave me such insight before I was able to transition to virtual reality. But yeah, speaking at schools, I'm on the board for the Cal State University Entertainment Alliance. So it's people from Netflix, representatives from Disney, Universal, SAG, AFTRA. And so it's not a big group, but we're all there to find out how this new technology, and me specifically talking about virtual reality and integrating that into the universities. That's 21 universities in the Cal State system. So, and what's ironic, I was a terrible student, so hilarious that I'm on a board for education. But that's between the phase 2 Hologate and the talks. It's taking up quite a bit of time, but I love it. I'm grateful.
Yeah, we were talking beforehand. You were saying you guys did 80 events last year?
We did, and it's only
you're a monster.
It's
like more than that's like grueling. Almost 2 a week.
Yeah, it was pretty grueling, and what people don't realize, it's only 4 of us here that run the entire 18,000 square foot space of phase 2. So it's the 2 owners, Peter and Dan, and it's Lily, who's our head of marketing and events. And we work a full day, and then at night we're doing an event on AI and how it's integrating with media and entertainment. We just had our first cannabis tech event with Digital LA, or we just had a finale watch party for the show Project Blue Book, which is on History Channel right now. So it's great. It feels like a university, probably the university that would accept me. So the traditional
university.
Yeah, they just
we see your potential university.
Right.
I mean, don't often like terrible students become like really great CEOs and entrepreneurs.
Right. That's what they say. They said the C students are going to run the world, rule the world. So
look at Gary Vaynerchuk, man.
Right. Right.
Right.
And
He's like, let me show you my report card. I was a freaking idiot.
Oh my God. That was me. I was just lucky when I wasn't on academic probation. But no, to that point, I like the fact that more successful CEOs are talking about their failures. That's something that's interesting. And I think we need to talk about that. And not saying that I was a very successful CEO, but I did okay. I was part of some nice entertainment milestones. And the first thing that I usually talk to people about is, are my failures. Having to close my visual effects company. I mean, that was painful. And I'm going to share it with everyone here is that I almost hit bottom. If it weren't for my mom and my sister, I would have been homeless. And I just think of how sometimes as entrepreneurs, and with me, or with most entrepreneurs, you have to just be a little bit delusional. And sometimes it just takes you too far where you don't want to let go. And I let go at a time where I was in debt. I have about $1.5 million worth of equipment in storage right now collecting dust. Visual effects equipment was so expensive back then. And what on that note, I know I'm going on crazy.
No, that's
visual effects like augmented reality. I mean, people don't realize that's Snapchat, right? That's Pokemon Go by Niantic, and that simple process of compositing ears or a nose on somebody's face, that used to take us probably half a day to a day with artists at $150 an hour. And people don't realize that, wait a minute, the fact that anybody can grab their phone, open up that app, and start tracking things on somebody's face, I mean, it's just...
Oh, it's insane. Me and Eugene are actually motion graphics and visual effects artists, too.
Nice.
Yeah. So
awesome.
We totally get what you're saying. I actually run the After Effects Seattle user group.
What?
So
sorry, I should have done my homework before I.
Oh no, it's all good.
It's totally fine.
No, I completely hear you because that's like one of the things that blows my mind about augmented reality. It's like it's happening in real time. Are you freaking kidding me? Like we used to get paid so much to do this crap.
Yeah, 7-year-olds. What's the big deal? They're it's on my face.
We just figured out now instead of just doing the visual effects, we just need to make the lenses to make the effects. So we just get paid for lenses.
Yeah.
There you go. Become a Snapchat creator.
We just had an event on Snap Lenses the other week. So
nice. Yeah. It's not that the jobs for special effects artists have gone away. They've just evolved into other things.
Yeah, they're transitioning.
Right.
Yeah. And that's like the nature of, the industry.
Yeah.
It's always evolving. Everybody has to constantly keep learning for new tools and stuff.
100%, Eugene. And you know what I say, and it's I don't know, it's not being negative anyway, but to dispel the fantasy of anything that we do is that we just have to keep in mind that production is production is production. Is that, I mean, I was on the early days of HD, of 3D, and it was the same thing. When you're an early adopter, when you're on the bleeding edge, which is painful as hell, right? You're figuring out the pipeline, and oh gosh, we have to kind of wait until the technology gets there. So there's a lot of waiting around to see if something's going to evolve. Okay, now it's working, and by the time you figure out the entire pipeline, people are just starting from that moment.
Yeah,
you may have just been the pioneer and bled and put in all your blood, sweat, and tears to get there, but then somebody just takes it from there and they just run circles around you, and that's what we have to understand. That and think of it. VR is the same way. VR takes a camera,
exactly the same way.
It takes post production, it takes editing, it takes sound design. So it's really, once you learn the secret sauce, it's basically okay. How do we utilize it, and how do we get it out to the public?
Yeah, well, me and Eugene kind of realized early on when we first tried VR, it's like this is the future. I mean, whether you like it or not at this point, whether or not it makes you motion sick or whatever, at that point, it didn't matter because this is going to be the future. And, getting in now, like when I went to college, I made the decision to go into video production back before YouTube. And because I knew web video was going to be a huge thing. And then lo and behold, YouTube's like a massive giant, obviously. And so like the people who got in on the ground floor of YouTube made killings. And so, getting in the ground floor of VR is exactly the same thing.
Right. Good. No, really good point.
And I mean, if we are positioned now as authorities, what are we going to be in 30 years? We're going to be like the freaking Ray Kurzweiler of VR, hopefully, or something like that. Like,
I think we're in VR dog years right now.
Right.
People say, "Oh, Greg, yeah, I'm thinking about getting into VR, but I'm so late to the game." I said, "Really, you're not."
What?
Dude, it's like 4 years old, man. Come on. Unless you count the Virtual Boy. I mean, come on.
Exactly. So they're like, "Really?" But
Well, to be fair, this wave of virtual reality is only like 4 years old.
Right. That's right.
I mean, you can track, virtual reality to like the 1800s if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, with smell-o-vision, or what was it? Sensorama? Sensorama.
I need to research it. I don't think I've seen the Sensorama.
Go ahead.
Right now. Googling right now.
What's crazy, Eugene? I've been.
I remember this.
Yeah, I've been to some guy's office in Studio City, and he actually had one in the lobby.
Really?
Yeah. I
That's
said, "What is that?"
interesting.
He's all, "Look it up, Sonny. Look up the Sensorama."
Was he 83?
He was pretty old.
It was his dad's. He just kept it around. But for anybody at home who's listening, the Sensorama was basically a booth that you would stick your head to, and it would play a movie in front of your eyes, and then try to hit you with sound, smell. Sometimes if it was the film had like rain in it, it would shoot like water at you and basically give you the illusion of being in the scene of whatever it was playing on you.
Wow.
We're looking at the little thing for it. It says, "The Sensorama, the revolutionary motion picture system that takes you into another world with 3D, wide vision, motion, color, stereo sound, aromas, wind, and vibrations."
Your voice is perfect for that, Topher. That was amazing.
I might have to do some VO tomorrow, so I'm like practicing right now. So good to know I'm on point.
You've sold me. Sign me up.
Hey, you're in Hollywood. Give me some gigs, man. I could use them.
Right.
Just some voiceover gigs.
Yeah. Come on down.
Do you need a buddy comedy VO'd?
Right. Absolutely.
Hire this bearded fool.
But wait, there's more.
So what's next on your radar? For the rest of 2019, do you guys have anything big planned?
Yeah, I can share a couple things. Thank you for asking. In July, August, we're going to be releasing our first IP, first intellectual property, and it's going to be Angry Birds. So we've partnered up with Rovio and Sony. So when we release this, about 2 months later, it's going to be in sync with the release of the Angry Birds 2 movie. So that's going to be really exciting for us.
Is it an Angry Birds VR game or an AR game?
It's going to be a VR game. So it's going to be made for the Hologate specifically.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's going to be multiplayer and...
Are you the bird?
Which bird are you is the right question.
I cannot disclose anything yet.
Okay. My assumption is you're the bird because isn't that the way that the the Magic Leap is?
It's completely different from the Magic Leap version.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's actually more true to the mobile game, I feel. Mm-hmm. And I believe that they even have a virtual reality version that's very similar to the Magic Leap experience. But yeah, this is completely original. It is going to require the support of your 3 other players that are in the Hologate with you, and it's incredible. Like just the renderings and the characters that it ties into with the Angry Birds 2 movie. It's a completely different experience. So we're very excited about that.
That's cool.
And then we are also putting together a tournament for our latest rhythm game called Groove Guardians. And it's pretty phenomenal. Like here in LA, I don't know if you guys have heard of Two Bit Circus. Have you guys heard of Two Bit Circus?
I've actually been to their offices.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so they when did they launch? They launched about 4 months ago, maybe. And
yeah, not too long.
Yeah,
ago.
it's phenomenal. I mean, it was founded by Brent Bushnell, and you probably recognize the last name Bushnell. His father is Nolan Bushnell, who invented Atari and Chuck E. Cheese. So that's his dad. Yeah, and Brent has a few of his other brothers working for him. But it's an amazing team. Aaron Polka, he's head of production over there. Just these guys have a long pedigree in the family entertainment space, the amusement park space, and it's phenomenal. So they bought a Hologate early. I mean, I believe that we were one of the first systems that they had bought for the space. And if you go in, I believe that they have over 100 different experiences there. They have a story room. They have these VR mazes. They have Birdly. I don't know if you guys have played Birdly, where you're flying, you're lying flat on your stomach, and you're flying with the wind in your face. And then they have an amazing bar and this cool little eatery that's sort of like contemporary takes on carnival food, which is really fun. But the Hologate has been doing so well. Apparently, it's about a 2.5-hour wait on the weekends.
Oh my God!
So they already bought a second Hologate, which is going to be installing later this month.
So how much does that cost a business to get a Hologate?
It's around $100,000.
Okay. Is that a year, or is that just like you buy it and now it's installed for good, or is that like a lease on a system?
The former. Yeah, you buy it. You basically get the hardware, the software, all the games that we've created to date, and so these family entertainment centers will buy it outright.
Mm-hmm.
And if on the second year they want to continue with our tech support and our game subscription, they pay the subscription, $8,000 for a full year. But with that, it's all not just technical support, but they get any upgrades on any existing games that we have, but also a minimum of 2, all the way up to possibly 4 games throughout that year that we're developing. But something like Angry Birds will actually be one of our Game Plus titles. That'll be at a different cost for that, premium cost.
Okay. Huh, that's awesome. They actually,
Topher, we're in the wrong business, man.
I know, right?
We need to start making content for these things.
They actually have a Hologate up north in Mill Creek.
Do they really?
Yeah, we need to. We'll talk to Greg afterwards. Maybe he'll hook us up. we definitely have to go check it out though, because
I would love for you guys to check it out and get your feedback.
Sure. No, yeah, that sounds like a freaking blast. I'm very interested in the Angry Birds game, because that's just gonna take you guys up like above and beyond, man.
Everyone's super excited. I mean, granted, so I don't know if you know how many systems we sold to date.
No idea.
We don't.
In only about a year and a half, we sold 304 units.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're super excited. We're super grateful, obviously, but it's the system just worked. The timing was right. I feel that there is and one of the biggest strategic moves that we've kind of done is that we teamed up with one of the top distribution companies, CreativeWorks in Indiana. And when we were thinking about the strategy and we hadn't sold really any units, we were thinking about, so what happens if we do sell any?
Right.
And first thing that came to mind is that I don't want to schlep these around the country at all. We were just thinking that that's not our specialty. So we teamed up with CreativeWorks, and they've been in the space, the family entertainment space, for about 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually, what people don't realize, are the leaders in go-karts. No, I'm sorry, escape rooms and laser tag. And I was just shocked to find out how many laser tag systems and escape rooms are installed every year around the country. And when I said that, they go, Greg, it's because you're from LA. You got plenty of stuff to do out there. The rest of the country, that is their entertainment.
Right.
You'll find every age, you'll find, kids all the way up to seniors at these spaces. That's where everyone congregates. And I went, interesting. So it's been a fascinating experience to, connect with the Creative Works guys and to learn how they do it. I mean, basically, they have a bunch of parts for the Hologate at their space. They have technicians all around the world so that we know that we can support the Hologates. And then on top of that, all of our systems are hooked in with Germany. So we can look at every system around the world. We can know what software they're on, what needs upgrading, technical support that mostly can be done all in Germany, all from Germany.
That's perfect.
So it's been a nice partnership because we can keep doing what we're good with. The game development, strategy, expansion, new products that we want to come out with, and Creative Works, they are just that partner that just makes sure everything is humming along, so we can keep it going.
Like the full-on sales partner too? Like they go and do all the sales pitches?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
And that was a huge blessing in disguise, is that because they had already had these long-term relationships with these family entertainment centers, it was like, hey guys, you've trusted us with laser tag, you've trusted us with escape rooms. We got this great virtual reality system. Oh, what's that? And here, we're gonna have you come by and check it out, or we'll bring one by and install it so you guys can take it for a trial run for a week, or whatever they had to do to get it out there. They had the trust behind their relationship, so that was just how this thing exploded so quickly.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Right on, man.
But we are coming up on time.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I know we just kind of blew right through that. You were worried that you wouldn't have enough content to keep this going, and you just
it was my cappuccino.
You mowed through the entire the entire time.
Oh, good. Hopefully it was interesting and
absolutely. It was very informative.
Thank you.
I had no idea that you guys had sold 300 of these things.
That's insane. That's
I'm
super impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's in a year and a half too. That's I'm surprised you guys weren't on Shark Tank or something like that. That's holy cow.
Yeah, it's again just grateful, and we're all the executives were owners in their own with their own backgrounds. So I think all of us are still very conscientious about costs and making sure that we're not getting too crazy with expansion, and so and it probably helps that for me personally, and for most of the other executives, is that we almost hit bottom in our careers at some time or another, and that makes you appreciate what you have, and you just again, not just for our success, but we want to see everyone else succeed also, and we want to hope that we can keep expanding it, keep being that touch point with the consumers, so that other companies can make money and flourish.
That's awesome, man. Well, where can everyone find Hologate and all that stuff online, and you, and what are your channels to follow on the social media?
My social media channels are super easy. It's just my full name, Gregg, Gregg, Katano, Katano. So you'll find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's all funny. Nobody else had Gregg Katano, so it wasn't taken. I'm lucky. And then Hologate, if you want to see where Hologates are, hopefully in your neighborhood, it's at hologate.com, HOLOGATE.com. And we have a map on there that'll show you all the locations around the world.
Nice. But maybe we can do a glitched meetup one of these days at Hologate and at the Hologate in Mill Creek.
Yeah, and if you're ever down in LA, we have one here at Phase 2. So the owners have been gracious to let me keep one here as a showroom.
Right on.
So
awesome.
Right on. Well, let's wrap it up. Eugene,
thank you, guys.
Where can everyone find you?
Google Capon Design,
and
you'll find me. First 6 pages of Google.
And I'm like the only Topher Welsh on Google, I think, too. So that's how you find me. So
awesome.
Right on. Well, Greg, thank you again so much for being on.
Thanks, guys.
It was a pleasure. I can't wait till we can get back to LA and we can like hang out in IRL. And
yes, I would love that. And we'll go to 2-Bit Circus.
Yes,
that would be fun.
That'd be awesome. All right, man. You take care.
Thanks,
everyone.
Guys.
Stay glitched.